Hi, I'm 8-bit. Today I'm here to talk to you about Chimeric's early access project, Nova Drift. Chimeric is an indie developer who have created other titles such as Ex Zodiac and Temple of Snek. Chimeric has a 98% positive feedback for their title Nova Drift on Steam. Nova Drift is a single player 2D indie arcade shooter, space shooter that is very colourful and bright. Nova Drift is in early access with a full release early date to mid 2021. Generally, at this point of the video, I would like to tend to go into the story or background or lore of the game that I'm generally reviewing, but at this point there is no story due to its early access nature. But at some point I hope that they add an introduction or interactive cutscene to begin with to the beginning of the game, or even just when selecting a mode. I think that would, in doing so, that would give some insight to the endless space fighting. But as of right now, there is no backstory to why we have taken the space to destroy every enemy in sight. As of gameplay, as you know, Nova Drift is a 2D space shooter. As you play Nova Drift, you start to unlock extra mods, which will help you earn extra experience when defeating the hordes of space, but in turn makes the game harder. As you unlock extra mods, the game begins to evolve and new build options become available to you. These extra build options are extremely helpful at the later stages of the game. Once you have a build in mind, for example a drone build, you will take as many of the drone mods as possible. But just be aware that some high level mods add deductions to your spaceships. So it comes with the higher the mod level, the bigger the deduction. When it comes to graphics, I didn't expect much from a 2D space shooter, but as I spent time playing Nova Drift, this game outshines any of its predecessors and sets the standard to beat in the future. It is very colourful and bright, which is enhanced by the dark moving background. There is very little clutter from exploding enemies, which gives it a polished feel, especially at the earlier stages of the game, and also helps with the later stages of the game when you're starting to get overwhelmed by enemies. At the later stages of the game, when you're swamped with enemies, the last thing the player needs is too many objects floating around. The basic designs of the player ships and enemies have worked for Nova Drift's favour, and that when it comes to the decision of 2D versus 3D, I think that the decision that the developer Chimeric going with a 2D space shooter instead of 3D space shooter definitely helped in its favour. But yes, I think this game is amazing. The sound effects for Nova Drift are what you would expect for a 2D space shooter. However, the soundtrack is one that is easy to listen to and fades into the background, which is a smart decision for the developer. The reason I say this is a smart choice is after playing the endless version of Nova Drift and having a repetitive soundtrack can make the game feel boring after a while. As of right now, I think there's only like 3 or 4 different, maybe 3 different soundtracks that I've heard. Like a couple, I think there's like a boss one. This is the first one. Yeah, so there's about 4. There's about 4, I think. 4 soundtracks, and as the soundtracks are playing, they tend to just fade into the background, and you're more focused on destroying your enemies and trying to stay alive than you are listening to the background. But whatever soundtrack that they have in there is absolutely amazing. So in closing, Nova Drift is at a current state. Nova Drift in its current state is a game that you could sit down and play if you had a spare 30 minutes to an hour, just to fill in the time, for example, going on a road trip or catching the bus to work. As I've been playing on PC, I feel that there is a market for mobile devices for this game, as you, if you could play only because if you play for more than like an hour or two, it probably will generally start to get repetitive. This game is perfect for mobile, absolutely amazing. I don't know if it's on mobile yet, but I can tell you right now, it would be worth the money if they could put this on mobile. More people nowadays tend to be on mobile than PC, and yeah, if you're listening, look into it. Seriously, look into it. You'd be surprised. There'd probably be way more of a market for you on mobile than PC right now. And by the way, guys, you did a good job. Thank you for the entertainment.